Miss Morin, this is our very last week of Reader's Workshop. I hope that you've had fun listening to the stories each week, and I've had fun teaching them, and it's been a cool experience to be able to continue these. So anyway, next weekend is a holiday called Mother's Day, and if your family celebrates Mother's Day, I bet you're thinking of some things that you can do for your mom or your grandma or your aunt or someone special in your family. If you're in my class, you know that when I was growing up, I didn't have a mom. So for Mother's Day, I celebrated my dad. So if you don't have a mom in your family, you can also celebrate the people that are in your family. Today, we're going to be reading a story about a very unique family, and it is about this character, the bear. And we're going to see how he turns into a mother and what happens with his family. So if you've never heard this story, I hope you enjoy because it is super silly and fun. So our story is called Mother Bruce. Originally, it was called Mother Goose, and then they X'd out the word goose and changed it to Bruce. While we're reading today, we are going to be listening for some special characters. We have this guy here. His name is Bruce. What kind of animal do you think he is? He's a bear. Bruce, the bear, has a problem, and you see him right here. His face does not look happy. And then we see another type of character. What animal do you think that is? Maybe a duck or a goose or a chick. So I wonder what kind of problem Bruce might have. Maybe you can already make a prediction. While we're reading our story today, we are again going to be working on making connections. You can make your connection symbol just like that. This little guy is thinking in his thought bubble about someone who is angry. So maybe as you read, you might have a connection to a time where you felt angry. Just like always when we're reading our book, we are going to listen for some vocabulary words. The words we're listening for today are collected. I think we've had that word before. Ingredients. Gosling. Stern. And our last word is migration. Okay, so we're going to be listening for all those words while we're... All right, the first word we are listening for is collected. Okay? All right, so in just a second, we're going to listen for that first word, but I did want to let you know that this book is on Epic. However, on Epic, it's only an audio book, so you can only hear the words. You can't see the picture. So I didn't have the book at home. So what I did is I went to the Monroe County Library website. I logged in with my library card, and you can download the book for free. So that's pretty cool. It's another option if you want to check out books at home. So anyway, using the book from the library, we're going to listen to Mother Bruce, not to be confused with Mother Goose. Here we go. Again, it's called Mother Bruce. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump. Should make a connection if you've ever felt like a grump. Sometimes when I wake up in the morning, I feel like a grump. He did not like sunny days. He did not like rain. He did not like cute little animals. Bruce is quite the grump. Bruce only liked one thing, eggs. He collected them from all over the forest. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. All right, so we heard our first word. Bruce collected eggs. So collect means to put things together in a group. So in this picture, this little girl is collecting pine cones. She is taking them and she's putting them all in one place. She's probably going to take it home. But Bruce wants to collect eggs. He wants to get one from here and then take them all home. What is something you like to collect? My son Carson likes to collect rocks. When we go on a walk, he likes to find a neat rock and take it back. And anytime we go on another walk, he'll bring a rock back home with him. And he has a whole collection at home in our driveway of rocks that he has collected. So collect just means to take one, take two, take three, bring them home, put them all together. Okay? Do you like that motion? Collect, bring them home, put them all together. Nice job. All right, the next word we're going to listen for is ingredients. When we hear the word ingredients, we will stop and come back and talk about it. All right, so we're back here from Bruce. Here he is in the tree collecting eggs. You can even see his little basket here on the tree. But Bruce didn't eat eggs raw like other bears. Instead, he cooked them into fancy recipes that he found on the internet. One day, Bruce came across a recipe for hard-boiled goose eggs drizzled with honey salmon sauce. So he went out for the ingredients. Let's talk about it. All right, here's ingredients. Ingredients are things that are used to make food. So if you're going to make a cake, you might need lots of ingredients. You can't just make it out of one thing. You can't just use eggs. You might also need flour or sugar. So Bruce found a recipe, and on your recipe, it tells you what ingredients you need. What's a good motion that we can remember the word ingredients? There are lots of different things you need. Maybe you need 4 different things. You can hold up 4 fingers. Maybe your hands are full from carrying all the ingredients. Pick a motion that you like that will help you remember ingredients are all the little things that you need to make food. And so Bruce is off to gather some ingredients. All right, we're going to go back to the story, and this time we're going to listen for the word gosling. All right, so first he caught a few salmon. Then he collected honey from a local beehive. He liked to support local business, you see. So far he has salmon and honey. He might need some more things. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a special visit. Oh my, he has her in his hand. He says, "Are these eggs free-range organic?" See what she says. At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling. But the fire in his stove fizzled, so he went out to get some more wood. When Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. "Mama, Mama, Mama, Mama." Bruce became the victim of a mistaken identity. Oh my goodness. What do those goslings think he is? Bruce wanted hard-boiled eggs, not goslings. Let's go talk about what goslings are. So a gosling is a young goose or a baby goose. So a baby duck is called a duckling, a baby cat is called a kitten, a baby chicken is called a chick. A gosling is the name for a baby goose. So that picture, it kind of looks like a duck, but ducks and geese are a little bit different. And one thing that's different is it's not called a duckling, it's called a gosling. Okay, so a gosling is a baby goose. So I'm just going to pretend like I'm holding a little gosling. I would be happy about a gosling, but do you think Bruce is happy about the gosling? I'm not so sure what he's thinking. All right, the next word we're listening for is stern. We'll come back and talk about it when you hear it. He supposed he could settle for buttered goslings on toast, but for some reason he lost his appetite. Look at the little goslings on the toast and the butter. Bruce scooped up the little geese and he stomped back to their nest. "I will have to ask Mrs. Goose about her return policy." Only to find out Mrs. Goose had already flown south. Her note says, "Be back in April." Bruce left the goslings there anyway and went back home. There you see they're in their nest. Last week we talked about the word habitat for frogs, and we said their habitat is where they live. What do you think a habitat is for these goslings, these baby ducks? If you said in a nest, I agree. Looks like they also like to be close to water. But he was followed. "Mama, Mama." Bruce was very stern and said things like, "Go away," and "I'm not your mother," and also, "I liked you better when you were eggs." Oh, we heard the word stern. All right, so stern means very serious and in an unfriendly way. If you look at this little boy and the lady that's with him, she's kind of waving her finger and his face even kind of looks sad. So Stern is kind of like mean. Bruce was like, I'm not your mother. He was mean. He wasn't friendly like, oh, I'm not your mother. And he wasn't friendly like, go away. He's like, go away. So Stern is very serious and maybe sometimes mean. Sometimes if you get in trouble, someone in your family might be stern and say, go clean your room. And that means they're serious. They mean business. Show me a stern face. Good job. All right, we have one more vocabulary word to listen for, and the word is migration. So we're going to hear that word in the story, and then we'll come back. Bruce couldn't take it any longer, and he became extra grumpy with them. Roar! Look at their faces. It didn't work. Goslings always follow their mother, even if she or he and he is a bear. Mama, mama. Here they are following him. Look at his face. Does he look happy? Nope, he looks mad. Bruce was stuck with them. Look at him on his belly. He tried to make the best of it. He got him a little pool so they can have a little pond, because their habitat is also by a pond, right? Look at Bruce's little floaties. He's trying to be a good mother. It was hard work. Look, he's letting them paint and they got it all over him. Oh my goodness, look at him carrying them on his chest like mommies do with their babies. Bleh! Ew! Yuck! Do you think they liked his cooking? I don't think so. They're all taking a nap on the log. As the seasons passed, Bruce watched the pesky goslings grow older. Annoying baby geese, stubborn teenage geese, boring adult geese. Then, one fall afternoon, he saw other goose families flying south. Finally, he'd be rid of those geese because he could take a long winter nap. Oh yeah, bears need to hibernate. What season do they hibernate? Winter. Oh, and winter bears like to hibernate, but he's been taking care of babies, so we couldn't hibernate. I bet that made him feel angry. Bruce explained migration. Let's go talk about it too. Migration is to move from one area to another at different times of the year. So birds in the winter, they migrate. Bears hibernate. Birds migrate. So when it gets close to winter, all the geese should fly away. But his geese don't know that. So migration would be to move away or fly away. Maybe you could fly like a bird. Fly away. You're going to migrate. All right, that's the last of our vocabulary words. Let's just read to see what happens to Bruce and his goslings. But they didn't seem to listen. So he told them they need to migrate. They need to fly where it's warmer in the winter. So they put on winter coats and hats and scarves. They didn't listen to what he said. Bruce needed the geese to leave, so he got creative. Oh my goodness, he's making a slingshot. Nothing worked. These geese would not leave Bruce. He even made them cute little airplanes. Oh, he's got a remote. He's trying to make them fly away. They're hugging him. They're like, oh. And he says, sigh. He's not feeling very happy. So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take his geese into town. They boarded a bus. Look, they have their own little bags. And migrated to Miami. What? Is that how you're supposed to migrate? No, you don't take a bus to migrate. You're supposed to fly. Now, every winter, Bruce and his geese head south together. They are lazy on the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice-cold lemonade while Bruce is dreaming about new recipes. Recipes that don't hatch. Oh my goodness. So Bruce isn't hibernating. He migrated with his ducks to a warmer place. Uh-oh. there's a little turtle baby. He says, "Mama," to the duck, or to the goose. Oh no, what is gonna happen? Okay, that was a pretty funny story, and I really liked the ending. I hope you enjoyed it too. So let's look at these pictures and see if we can help tell the story in order. So first we had Mother Bruce, who was always pretty grumpy, right? Then one day he found a recipe on the internet, and the recipe was for honey salmon with gosling eggs. So he went to go collect some eggs. He went to bring them home. And then when he got home, the eggs hatched. And the goslings were like, "Mama, mama, mama." And he's like, "I'm not your mama." And here he is trying to take him back. And he's trying to take him back, but the mama has already left the nest, and he can't leave them alone in their nest. So then he brings them back, and they turn in from goslings into like teenage ducks, and not ducks, geese. And then they turn into adult geese. And he tries to teach them how to migrate. He's like, "Hey, fly away." And they're like, "Hey, no, I don't want to." And then he makes them a slingshot, and he tries to get them to fly away. Well, that didn't work. And then he made them remote airplanes, and that didn't work. So finally, he just packed them all up, and they got on a bus, and they all migrated to the beach, and they all had a good winter and a place that was nice and warm. And I guess they probably went back home after that. What do you think? Probably. All right, let's see if you were a good listener. Can you tell me something from the beginning of the story? Yeah, so in the beginning you could say any of the things like Mother Bruce was, or just Bruce was looking for a recipe and he needed some eggs. That was kind of in the beginning. And then tell me something about the middle. Remember, the middle is the biggest part of the story, so there are lots of things you could tell me about. Tell me one thing. Yeah, you're right. So the goslings are trying to have Mother Bruce be their mother, right? They're following around. They don't want to leave him. They seem to be enjoying their time with him. And does he seem to be enjoying his time with them? I'm not so sure. All right, and then tell me one thing that happened at the end, or the end. Yeah, they all migrated to a nice warm place, and then we don't know what happened. Or do we? Look what I have. Might be backwards on the screen, but it's called Hotel Bruce. And Bruce's Big Move. I'm going to read some other Mother Bruce stories. So if you like this story and you want to hear another one, come back and listen to another video tomorrow, okay? All right, one more thing we're going to do. Remember I said this weekend is a holiday called Mother's Day. Everybody's family is a little bit different. Bruce's family is not like my family, and I bet Bruce's family is not like your family, because we all have our own different kinds of families. Some of our families, we have a mom and a dad. Some of our families, we don't have a mom or we don't have a dad. Maybe some of our families have our grandparents in our house. So every family is a little bit different. So I found this song from our friend Jack Hartman, and he's just going to sing about celebrating your family and celebrating the people that you live with. And if your family is different, that should make you proud, and you should be happy about your family. And I want you to tell me or the people around you all about it. I'd love if you could write a story about your family if you have not done that yet. All right, this is kind of a long video. You can watch it later if you want. We're just going to watch a little bit of it and celebrate our families.
Love is kind. Love comes from a family of mine.
Sing along if you want.
We're big, we're small, we're young, and we're old. We're all different people living together with love. We laugh, we play, we learn.
family is another family.
Together with love. Together with love. We are a family.
Living,
Playing
playing
together.
together.
We are
Maybe you have a sports family.
wherever we go.
Teachers are your family.
We are family. I can feel
Animals have family.
I can feel love from
All right, we'll stop there. But we should all celebrate our families and how our families are unique and different. Like I said, one family that's super special to me is our classroom family. And although we are not spending the end of the year together in person, I'm so glad that we've gotten to spend time together online. This is our very last week of Reader's Workshop, so please keep reading over the summer. If you need ideas or resources, please let your teachers know. Kinders, hang in there, and happy Mother's Day if you are celebrating this weekend. Goodbye, everybody.